What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money.
From the beginning, the relationship between 50 Cent and Diddy has always carried a strange tension that nobody in the industry could quite ignore. What appeared at times like playful jabs or friendly shade often revealed something far darker underneath. It wasn't just about trolling.
Did you see the video? To do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like somebody pushed
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like it's a simple situation, but it's like
20 mil, I could say it.
You still have to black his face out. You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his
damn.
voice wasn't even that different.
And that a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, that's Buck. You trying to get money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. The internet might come for you.
Yeah,
you say sweet love. Yeah, you gotta say make sweet love.
That's young buck breaking right there.
Make sweet love.
There's rules to rap beef now, bro.
Not
in your day.
Well, I'm saying like, God, man,
good.
why is your homeboy so close to you when you come out of there? Look like you guys just made sweet love. I'm gonna say sweet love instead of anything that says.
To me, that's better because they're gonna try to make it something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was smart. Like I didn't think about that. I say things that are borderline. Like I'm like, oh my God, you're in trouble.
You?
Like all the time. Because I just say.
Nah, but you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Mika's in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop.
Shit.
This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it. Look, you set that up. Look, you set that up. He's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
He obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there.
they found Kendrick and Whiteface.
You can't dress up Kendrick like that. Al, you can't dress him up like that.
No, it's jokes.
That's like the White Chicks movie, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was comedy. That was good.
Yeah, but that
get away with Whiteface.
That's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah,
and
it's
wore
true.
it in public.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That was a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the wedding. I always say to myself,
it was someone's wedding?
It was Chris Lighty's wedding. He's in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
You see that video. It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like you can tell that he was already.
Nah, New York is dope. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, but he didn't party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they let that one go? Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was fair.
What did it feel like all these years, you being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You're do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
is might come for you.
You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn, they were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like I look at things and go, when you see the
memes or the occasional Instagram dig. No, this has always been a rivalry steeped in power, money, secrets, and control. And now, everything has exploded in ways that no one saw coming. 50 Cent, a man known for his brutal honesty and relentless need to expose, has done it again, but this time, it isn't just about embarrassing someone with a meme or reminding the world of an old scandal. No, this time, 50 has turned his sights on Diddy with a vengeance, and the things he's been revealing are nothing short of disturbing. What started as subtle comments and vague insinuations has evolved into a storm of shocking allegations that threaten to unravel everything Diddy has built over decades. 50 Cent has always been feared not just because of his music or his business success but because he's unafraid to say what others whisper in private. He doesn't operate under the same rules as the rest of the industry, while others remain silent to protect business relationships or their own reputations. 50 thrives on confrontation, on exposing the underbelly of an industry built on smoke and mirrors, and when he set his sights on Diddy, he made it clear that he wasn't holding back. The first cracks appeared on social media. At first,
a new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know, like that. Look, you know, so, like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go, oh, so 10 years, 20 years later, that comes back. And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because because
Because of the priests.
the priests touching little boys.
Oh.
Why is everyone looking at me, bro?
That's
I
your
just go to
man.
church. I just go to
That's
church,
your
right?
man.
Nothing to do with this. I have an alibi.
That's why the laws allow them to go that far back.
Turn away from you right here.
I'm just a Catholic kid. Come on.
You've been dead, dude.
No.
What's the body of Christ taste like?
That's sacrilegious. You can't do that.
He's like, yo, drink my blood.
Yo,
So it is crazy when after 20 years they come out. That shit is foul.
But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades.
yeah, because we had our own little thing.
But you were the only.
was
Everybody
your
else
thing?
is scared.
Huh?
But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just
I
asking.
think that they're scared.
But if they're scared,
But
then maybe
you've
that's
been
why I'm thinking.
insinuating Jay-Z a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you've been saying people gonna come for him a little bit.
No,
You've been
I thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist. And
So
then-
he did the corporate way of
Yes.
trying to keep you down. Oh, it's
doing
not me. It's them.
It's them. And then when M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
Let's go.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
That's what I'm
What's
talking
your
about.
and Jay's issue?
it's just competitive stuff.
It's
for the
really
music.
just
This is
competitive.
what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
Oh,
Okay.
So
I can
that's the
see that.
behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's
Yeah.
one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music.
Yeah.
But there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side, and it's not like you're gonna go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water.
Yeah, or this deal, and you go, he said that to you, like.
Okay.
Wow.
I get that.
Like they'll speak to your temperament. Like say, you know, if 50's a little crazy, he'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kanye.
So they're trying. He's basically trying to scare
Yeah,
people out of
out
doing
of
deals
doing
with
it.
you. Interesting. And then M shut it down, and he was like, "Yo, it's got to
I'm
happen."
not. If he's not coming, I'm not coming. And then it changes the whole thing because he really is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they can say what they want.
Yeah, I know.
But when we go to the stats, the actual
Numbers don't
They know the
lie.
numbers.
Yeah, he's the
And that was
biggest
before
one.
the days of
And-
the bots and all that shit.
There's a you know, M obviously speaks with you with high praise, but there's a few videos that I see, and everybody talks about how funny you are. They talk about obviously the albums, all the success, but like Eminem specifically talks about your rapping skill a lot.
yeah.
Is that mean a lot? I'm like,
It does. Like, you know, look, he never left that part of the creativity. Like he would go back when you don't see him. He's back. He's in his regimen of the studio.
yeah.
And this is why, like, he kind of they can't. You can be as good as him, but you can't really beat him at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you have to put all your energy there.
And you're just not gonna do it. Once these guys get famous, they leave the
That's
studio.
it. And they go. And the thing that makes him feel good is yo, you heard what I did last like last night? And it gives him that again. So if that's really what's driving you.
First, fans thought it was just 50 being 50, making fun of Diddy's behavior, sharing clips that raised eyebrows, and dropping captions that carried double meanings. But then, the tone shifted, the humor started to fade, replaced by sharper words, more direct claims, and specific details that couldn't be ignored. It no longer felt like shade, it felt like evidence. 50 began alluding to Diddy's business practices, the way he treated artists under his wing, the countless stories of contracts that left musicians broke while Diddy's wealth multiplied. He painted a picture of a mogul who thrived on control, who built an empire by keeping others beneath him, and who carefully hid behind his public persona while exploiting those who trusted him. Fans who had long heard whispers of bad boy contracts suddenly saw those old rumors reignited with fresh fire, and it was 50 Cent leading the charge. But it didn't stop there. The allegations turned personal. 50 began hinting at disturbing behavior, painting Diddy not as the flashy, larger-than-life mogul he presented to the world but as a man surrounded by darkness.
Old ladies is off limit.
I'm going, wait a minute. I'm going through my Rolodex of shit that people did really fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why exactly am I killing the old lady?
Yeah.
Because that's what they
And
think.
then I'll go, okay.
Yeah.
Can I have drugs? Can you give me drugs? Can you give me a reason why I'm not in my right mind when I'm doing it? Because that would be an excuse for the behavior being. That was a television moment for me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
This
Because
is
I
really
don't know nobody
interesting.
who killed somebody's
Yeah.
old lady to get back into an apartment that they used to hustle out of it.
What makes characters great is when they're flawed, right? Like we like Tony Soprano. He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. But you have to know what their constitution is.
Right.
And I think a lot of times when people are so separated from whatever it is, it could be the mafia, it could be the hood, it doesn't matter. They're so separate, they don't know what a bad guy is capable of.
Right.
But they don't know what he won't do.
The only thing
You're
that's
not
left
killing
was
nobody's grandma.
The only thing left was to kill a dog. This is a bad person. What the fuck? I'm like, yo, so the whole lady want me to with a Jesus Saves pillow? With a Jesus Lives? That was really what the scene was. I was like, yo, can I be on drugs? That's when I started, with lean in the show.
Yeah.
Tyreek was had him with that because I'm like, yeah, just give me something. Give me a reason that.
To break my constitution, to not be who I am.
And to make it feel like this could have happened.
Right. Yeah. When he had so much character development, and because every character was complex, now you have a spin-off for every single character.
Exactly.
Show.
Because the characters are real.
The hood Marvel. Like it's a multiverse. It really is. That shit is fire.
It comes with things. And I got some stuff that's coming. It's going to shake things. It's going to be
Really?
Yeah, it's a good project.
Can you give us a little? Yeah.
Oh, I'm working on Chris Albrecht right now. Me and Chris, we did Power to Love.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney is the writer. Was the writer showrunner. But me, Mark Cam introduced me to Courtney. Courtney, we put it together and we got the thing together. But Chris is like the.
Let him know who Chris is. This
Chris
is the
Albrecht's like
GOAT who ran HBO for the best of HBO shows.
Yeah.
From
Sopranos,
all of it.
The Wire.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's like he's one of those guys, like for real. Like
He sees a bit.
And understands story to a different level where he could write the shit himself, but he just have the other writers involved with it. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, so that guy, we got another one we're working on now where we incorporate DR and PR. We're going across Dykeman this time. So they'll see how people from DR
Shout out to Dominican. Wow.
move the drugs.
You gonna
to
have some
PR,
chicken fights, bro?
Yeah.
It's gonna be
You need to have them chicken fights.
It's gonna be official.
There's gonna be a lot of
It's not
skinny
real if it's
jeans
not a
and
chicken fight.
manicured eyebrows.
Yeah. Some rhinestones on the back pocket. Yeah. Can I help out with the dressing for that?
Yes, definitely.
I want your wardrobe.
But it's a big one. Is
Is that why you're celibate now? I saw you post
You know
about
what? That worked out for me for a little while, bro.
For how long?
It does. Like for
A weekend?
no, a few months.
That's good.
This guy's going to jail. Puppy celibate. Puppy celibate. He's dating himself.
I mean, is he?
Yeah. Hopefully.
I don't want to imply any of the shit that you said. You said, oh, is he?
He's crazy.
Nah, but you know, it's
I'm gonna get killed after this.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you said earlier this year that you're going to be celibate.
Yeah.
He's going to practice.
I was practicing.
You're going to practice. You're not going to play the game. You're just going to practice.
You can see people that.
Huh?
You sit across from them at the table and you can see them.
That they're celibate?
No, because you don't want anything from them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you sit and you then go out with an attractive girl, you talk to her, and you like,
He tied past scandals to present situations, connecting dots that others had been too afraid to draw. He mocked Diddy's lavish parties, suggesting there were secrets hidden in plain sight, and hinted that those secrets were finally catching up to him. And the world noticed. Social media lit up with debates, speculation, and shock. Some fans claimed they had always suspected Diddy wasn't the man he portrayed himself to be. Others were stunned, struggling to reconcile the glamorous public figure with the disturbing image 50 was painting. Memes flooded timelines. Yes, but so did serious conversations. The industry itself grew tense, as many wondered just how much truth 50 was letting slip and how much more he had in his arsenal. Because one thing about 50 Cent, he never speaks without purpose. Every word, every post, every accusation is strategic. And when he began turning up the heat on Diddy, fans realized this wasn't random. It wasn't a joke. It was deliberate. What makes this even more shocking is
and his attorney. 50 Cent seemingly poked fun at the allegation of the mother of his son being an alleged sex worker. In a post made to his social media page, 50 wrote a caption, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker, LOL." But this would prompt Daphne Joy to respond to her ex again on social media, but this time would accuse 50 directly of rape and being abusive during their relationship. She would write in part, "Everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs? For nothing. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of raping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Those allegations against 50 Cent would prompt him to fire back against his ex Daphne Joy and sue her for defamation. In his suit, 50 Cent said those allegations were unequivocally false and would claim she made the shocking allegations in retaliation after he moved to take sole custody of their son. Since that suit, Daphne has deleted her Instagram post accusing 50 of rape and physical abuse. 50 Cent was asked by The Hollywood Reporter the latest in the defamation suit. The rapper and television producer said he tiptoes around the Daphne stuff and explained why. He said, "I got a family court case. The allegations that came out, she posted things to her page saying some crazy stuff. But this comes 8 hours after I filed for custody for my son. And she put that up in response to that, and I'm like, ugh. In this climate, you know how quickly they pass judgment. Things have worked out since she said those things." He went on to add, "I'd like to respond and say some wild stuff, but I've got to sustain that for my son." 50 was asked if he was worried about the allegations, especially given he's making a docuseries about an alleged abuser. And 50 replied, "It is damaging. It is damaging just to have anything said about you at this point, because you have people out there who don't believe your intentions, and if things are going in a positive direction for you and something pops, they gasp." He went on to say for entertainment purposes, they exploit that as much as possible, but there's no merit to it. But one thing 50 wasn't asked was if he believed Diddy would be formally charged and or potentially indicted for the many allegations he still faces. But attorney Ben Chu, who represented Johnny Depp during his trial against Amber Heard, says he does see an indictment coming down in Diddy's future.
I agree with that. I mean, obviously, I don't have any inside information. I don't think many people do, but I do think the signs are ominous. These are very grave matters. As you know, there have been 2 raids on his properties, and that's obviously very ominous signs for him. Although, interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence, but still, these are very serious matters. So, I think he faces some serious reckoning.
Diddy faces a staggering number of civil lawsuits for sexual misconduct. 10 that have been filed since last November. Former adult film star Adria English filed her suit on July 3rd of this year, claiming she was first employed by Combs in 2004 and was groomed into sex trafficking over time. In May of this year, April Lampros filed her lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of battery and sexual assault. 2 days prior to Lampros' suit being filed, Crystal McKinney also filed a suit against Diddy. McKinney alleges she met Combs at a studio where he gave her a lace joint, alcohol, then forced her to the bathroom and forced her to perform oral sex on him. Rodney Jones Jr. filed his lawsuit in federal court in February of this year that accuses Combs and the people who work with him of being part of an illegal racketeering enterprise. He also accused Diddy of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and harassment. Then there's a suit filed by a woman under the moniker Jane Doe, which was filed in December of 2023. Doe alleges she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Combs and former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre when she was just 17 years old and in the 11th grade.
Is the timing. Diddy has been facing legal troubles, accusations, and investigations that have already placed him in one of the most vulnerable positions of his career. His empire, once thought untouchable, is showing cracks. His name, once associated with success and influence, is now tangled in scandal and speculation, and into that chaos steps 50 Cent, fanning the flames with accusations that make it nearly impossible for Diddy to regain control of the narrative. The disturbing secrets that 50 alludes to stretch far and wide, from shady financial practices to troubling personal behavior, from whispers of manipulation to suggestions of much darker things. The picture he paints is one that leaves little room for sympathy. It's not just about tearing down an image. It's about exposing a truth that many in the industry may have known but never dared to say. And the way 50 does it is what makes it so devastating. He doesn't scream. He doesn't beg people to believe him. He simply drops details, lets the world talk, and sits back as the chaos spreads.
Now, Combs' trial is expected to last another month at least. He's charged with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Join us now to talk more about the trial of Sean Diddy Combs and everything that's going on inside the courtroom is Afi Patterson, civil and criminal defense attorney. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. We're focusing on what was a minor moment in the grand scheme of everything we heard in the trial this week, but there's this anecdote that Capricorn Clark told about what related to 50 Cent, but what Diddy allegedly told 50 Cent's manager at MTV during her time of working for Diddy. What did you make of that? Sean Combs saying, I don't like the back and forth, but I like guns.
You know, I think it goes to the overall case. They've been saying that Diddy was a dangerous guy. If he made a threat, he could back it up. And I do recall reading that she said that his demeanor was very, very serious. And knowing his history, his violent history, knowing about the beef between Biggie and Tupac, I think that it probably frightened her. And I think that just again, her knowing about his violence, his propensity for violence, his behavior with her, his behavior with Cassie, his behavior with other employees, he's just continually reinforcing that violence. So I think it was a really good moment for the government.
Yeah, it's just, and it seems like there are these little moments along the way where there are some celebrity names that pop up. This case, it was 50 Cent. We heard earlier in the trial, Usher and Neo were at a dinner where Cassie was allegedly assaulted. It was unclear whether they saw that, but it was said that they were there. As far as the history of 50 Cent and Diddy, do we know how it started? I know that 50 Cent had a diss track, I think around 2006, claiming that Sean Combs knew who killed Biggie Smalls. But is there a particular incident that happened that made 50 Cent just seem to really start to come at Sean Combs?
You know, I don't know what's ground zero for them. I've seen, interviews that 50 has given saying that it's all business with them. I know they both have alcohol lines, and I know, they're both from New York. I think 50 is maybe from Queens and Diddy is from Harlem. I don't know what their ground zero is, but I know that since this all came out, 50 has not stopped. He's been taunting Diddy online. You, of course, know about the documentary. I believe it got picked up by Netflix, and he is supposedly donating the proceeds to victims of domestic violence. Diddy has had his knee on his neck and his foot to the gas on Diddy for a while, but again, I don't know where it started.
Yeah, I mean, 50 Cent, for many people, if it was ever, there was an anecdote that came out that someone had said, oh, I like guns, when talking about it back and forth, it might scare you. 50 Cent was at the Knicks Pacers game in Indiana with a free Diddy t-shirt on, sitting courtside the next day. It's different. It was, yeah, it was different. I look back, and we aired a bit kind of leading into this interview, a clip from the Breakfast Club. It was 2018, and Diddy was on the show, and they asked about the issues that he had with 50 Cent. And he said, there's no issues. I love him. He loves me. He was kind of joking about it. And then you hear these stories that come out, whether it's this one specifically about 50 Cent or just in general, the picture that's being painted by the government in this trial. For you, has kind of the image of Sean Combs and who you thought he was, has it changed during the course?
He knows the power of his words. He knows his audience trusts him to tell it like it is. And with each new revelation, the weight of his accusations grows heavier. For Diddy, the fallout is immense. His reputation, already battered, now finds itself in freefall. Every move he makes, every statement he tries to issue is drowned out by the echoes of 50's words. It's as if 50 has become the narrator of Diddy's downfall, guiding the public through a story of power, deception, and scandal that feels more like a slow-motion collapse than a sudden crash. The industry is watching closely. Artists, executives, and insiders who once aligned themselves with Diddy now hesitate, unsure of how deep these accusations go and whether more will come to light. Relationships that once shielded him now seem fragile, as even the most loyal allies recognize the danger of being associated with a man whose name is now tied to disturbing revelations. And that's the most chilling part, this feels far from over. If 50 Cent has dropped these bombshells now, what else is he holding back? How much more
course of what we've seen over the last couple of weeks?
Certainly over the course of what we've seen, but I think I've seen an interview where 50 said, if you want to go nowhere, go to Diddy. If you're ready for your career to die, go to Diddy. It's long been rumored that Diddy didn't necessarily treat his artists properly, and if you look through his roster of artists, you'll see a lot of individuals whose careers probably started off really, really well, but they ended up with no money. That's long been the rumor. There've been rumors of abuse by Diddy toward Cassie and toward Kim and some other women as well. Even when he was at, I think Uptown is where he originally started. So there've always been rumors, but nothing really solidified and verified like we've had in this trial. It's been awful. I think it would be awful for anyone. I don't think his reputation is in the business world certainly will never recover. And even if he's found not guilty, his name is mud. I don't think that it's recoverable. I think everybody is extremely shocked, especially just some of the sexually explicit things. We have a huge morality issue in America. So anything that's like a little deviant is just not going to be really good for you. So I think everybody's a little shocked. I'm a little shocked and appalled and horrified. And I think a lot of people are. But, this is not what we knew. We knew some things weren't right, but we didn't know just how wrong they were.
And I feel like we just knew because, we all grew up, whether it was, some of the roles he had in movies. And he was everywhere, and then his brands were everywhere. And it's like Making the Band was such like a hit show on MTV back in the day. And there's that famous scene where he has all the contestants walk to Brooklyn to go get, I think it was Junior's cheesecake. And he's yelling at people. And then it seemed like everyone around him in any documentary that he did, it was like, oh, that's just Puff because he's always just so angry. And then it's just this whole other level in the trial where it just, as an attorney, how effective has the government been as you just read, and we can only read transcripts really and kind of hear from the people we have in the courtroom, but just at this point, how effective has the government been in painting the picture of this isn't just someone who was a domestic abuser, this isn't someone who was just a mean boss, but this was a racketeer who was running a criminal enterprise?
Yeah, and I think the forced labor issue. I think they've done an excellent job with that. With the transcripts I've been reading, a lot of the people are saying that they worked for 20 hours. Like that's the magic number, 20 hours straight. They, on a good day, we heard you'll get 4 hours of sleep. On a bad day, you'll get 4 hours of sleep. I think one of the what is it? A bodyguard said, if you sleep, you're getting fired. Like it was more rhythmical or rhythmic than that. I don't know, but you couldn't sleep around him, and I think that's what we saw with making the band. But again, we really didn't believe it. We thought it was for entertainment purposes. We didn't think someone could really act like this. And if an employee gave any pushback, uh, they would either be terminated or they'd be threatened with reputational damage.
Does he know? And will he continue to unleash it piece by piece, ensuring that Diddy never has a chance to recover? Because 50 doesn't just fight, he dismantles. He doesn't just expose, he devastates. And once he starts, there's rarely a way to stop him. Diddy may try to silence the noise, to regain control, to push back against the tide, but the truth is, the world is listening to 50, and right now, 50's voice is louder, sharper, and more convincing than anything Diddy can say in his defense. What we are witnessing isn't just a feud, it isn't just rap drama. This is the unraveling of a mogul's image, the dismantling of a carefully crafted empire, the exposure of secrets that many thought would never see the light of day, and it's happening in real time, with 50 Cent at the center, pulling back the curtain and daring the world to look. The disturbing, shocking secrets he has revealed have shaken the foundation of hip-hop. They've exposed the fragile line between power and corruption, between influence and exploitation, and they've left one of the biggest figures in the industry reeling, scrambling for a defense that may never come. Social media has erupted in the aftermath. Fans are divided, some are shocked, unable to believe that the man who once ruled hip-hop with an iron fist could be hiding such disturbing truths. Others say they're not surprised at all, that they've always suspected the flashy image was just a cover for something darker. Memes, debates, and threads stretch for miles as everyone scrambles to piece together the puzzle that 50 Cent has thrown onto the table. But here's the thing about 50 Cent, he never fires shots without a purpose. He never stirs the pot without a reason, and that's what makes this even more chilling. If he's willing to go this far, to drop secrets this heavy, then the question has to be asked, how much more does he know? What else is he holding back? And why is he choosing this moment, right now, to let the world in on these disturbing truths? As fans watch this unfold, one question remains: has 50 Cent just delivered the final blow to Diddy's empire? Because the way things are going, the mogul once seen as untouchable is now looking like a man cornered, exposed, and on the brink of collapse. And one thing is certain, when 50 Cent decides to speak, the world doesn't just listen, the world reacts, the world remembers, and the world never forgets. This is more than a beef, this is a reckoning, and Diddy may never recover from the disturbing, shocking truths that 50 Cent has now unleashed for everyone to see.